Hello, TheLadyKeziah here. I'm coming your way with romantic love. I sit back and watch a lot of people getting confused about the difference between romantic love and new relationship energy. So they get into new relationships, overlooking all the red flags, which can in a long haul become deal breakers, and they are so in because to them they are romantically in love. They can't differentiate between romantic love and new relationship energy. So today, I'm coming your way with what romantic love is and what it's not. Romantic love is one of the most powerful sensations on earth. I know a lot of you are debating whether there is still love in the fullest of its definition in this generation. Yes, there is love. For the fact that your antenna doesn't catch love doesn't mean people out there are not experiencing love. There is still love in all its fullest forms, and people are enjoying love. Romantic love is one of the most addictive substances on earth. It happens when the brain is in love. You cannot stop thinking about the other person. It looks and feels like another human being is camping in your head. Have you ever had that experience? Well, romantic love is a wonderful addiction where love is in its elements, but it can become a nightmare, a horrible addiction when the relationships get bad. Romantic love not only causes ecstatic joy, but also intense sorrow. Direct opposites, two direct extremes. If it's going on so beautiful, both of you are enjoying to the extreme. If it goes bad, it brings so much sorrow because the brain is already in love. It wreaks havoc with our lives when the relationship doesn't end well. And that is why everybody has to be careful when you are describing your relationship as romantic without knowing what that really means. This kind of love is characteristic or characterized by addiction. That is, you can focus on the person, obsessed about them, crave them. You can even distort reality. That's when everybody is telling you about the red flags and still your brain can't get it because it's already captured what you want to feel and to experience. So every other information somebody else is giving, you can't access it fully. You only crave the person. You become addicted to the person. It forces you to take sometimes erroneous risk just to win the person. So you can sit back and watch somebody and why are you wasting your life? Why are you doing that? Why are you into so much risk just because you want to be loved? You want to love somebody. The person's brain is in love. And that is the danger of it. Erroneous risk and mistakes just because you want to win the love of this person. You just want to make the person happy, even at the expense of your own happiness. Romantic love is different from sex drive. Don't get confused here. There are people who are players. And when I talk about players, don't look at the young men and young women. No. There are people in their late 70s, 80s who are players. There are people who are players. Their sex drive is so high that they can have sex with anybody as long as they want to have sex. It is not romantic love. Romantic love enables a person to focus his or her energy on one person at a time. Sex drive wants sex from anyone that is available as long as the person wants sex. So know that difference also. As to whether what you are feeling is a new relationship energy or romantic love, pay attention. New relationship energy equips your brain with chemicals. So I always tell people, If either it's romantic love or new relationship energy, time will tell. You see the people that would chase you, pursue you, persuade you to just be with them. All they want is sex. They would call you 5 times, 10 times a day, text you, send you gifts of all sorts, all kinds, just because they want to have sex with you. Immediately they have sex with you. If that is a man, then you realize that they pull back. They now want to feel and fuel their testosterone again. And that is it. That's all they wanted from you. That is the way we are created, such that we'll be able to desire the opposite sex. So when you meet a person who is a new person that you have some feelings and attraction for, your body produces chemicals. So it is time that we'll be able to tell whether it's new relationship energy you have or it's really romantic love. New relationship energy is a volatile and complex force which involves a release of pleasure-inducing chemicals in your brain also. And that's where lots of people get confused, because they see new relationship energy as romantic love and they are all in without paying attention to the red flags. When you meet a person that you are attracted to, your brain responds by releasing these chemicals, including dopamine and serotonin, and that creates feelings of motivation, desire, pleasure, and arousal. At that level, you cannot describe what you have as romantic love, just like I've said. No, you've just met the person. So it's new relationship energy that would enable you, motivate you to be able to pursue that person, to get to know them on a deeper level. Of course, healthy romantic partnership don't always mean, having sex with a person. There are people you just build camaraderie with them. You build mutual love, mutual respect with them, not necessarily having sex with them. It's just mutual protection and support, which is very, very important for our survival. And that is chemistry. We'll do that on a different video. It's because of chemistry why we have that saying that love at first sight. Love isn't at first sight. Love takes time to grow and to develop. It is just because of chemistry. And listen to the name, it's chemicals. So you meet the person and every other thing within you just want to have the person. It is all chemicals. And we are wired such that these chemicals will enable us to have this attraction with the opposite sex. And within certain period, all these chemicals can die off. And that is when you know whether you were truly in a romantic love or it was just a new relationship energy. So all I can say is take your time. Don't neglect all the red flags, because I always tell people, many of the things that come back in relationships, in committed relationships, including even marriages, the things that come back to haunt and to hurt us, to destroy those beautiful relationships we built, all of them were there at the beginning of the relationship. But because we thought we were romantically in love, because you feel you are so much connected to the person, you didn't pay attention to these things. Some of you equally thought that when the relationship grows and develops into something else, you'll be able to change them. Listen, nobody can change another person. Until a person comes to the realization that I don't want to live like this anymore, you can't change anybody. All you can do is to accept the person and enjoy him or her. You are struggling because you are trying to change another person. You can't. It's a full-grown agentic adult, and so she is. So you can't change them. You can only love them, accept them, and be with them, or move ahead. So we feel many emotions when we are in love, many emotions that sometimes you can sit back and watch and think people are even just fooling. No, it's just chemicals in their brains. But all these chemicals will die over time. That's when all the calls will stop, all the gifts will stop. That is when you know whether it was the person you had fallen in love with, or you were just deriving motivation, desire, and arousal, pleasure to pursue the person for sex. So we feel many emotions when we are in love, just like I said, from euphoria to anxiety. But here is a quote from Plato that I think best describes romantic love. No wonder the ancient Greeks described romantic love as the madness of the gods, because you can't sit down and pinpoint why chemicals are released into your brain that enables you to pursue another person, to the extent that you think if that person, you don't see that person, something is going to happen to you. Nothing would happen to you. They are all just chemicals that will die off with time. So if a person truly loves you, time will definitely tell. Time will enable you to see what they have in their hearts for you, not just the chemicals that is released for them to chase you. They were just chasing you because of your body. As to whether they would really love you for who you are as a person is on another level altogether. So Plato says, the God of love lives in a state of need. It is a need. It is an edge. To him, it is romantic love is a homeostatic imbalance, like hunger and thirst. It's almost impossible to stamp out. And I always tell people, listen, the feeling of love is very beautiful. Unless all your life, you haven't fallen in love. If you've really fallen in love and walked in this love and grew in this love, trust me, it's a beautiful feeling. But it only becomes beautiful when this happens between two individuals, not just you. That your brain is in love with a person who doesn't even see your worth and your value, and consistently can neglect you and abandon you at his beck and call. Every space that is supposed to prove his loyalty and allegiance to you, he can neglect you and abandon you. That's not the kind of love I'm talking about. Any opportunity that she's supposed to stick out her neck for you, she would leave you. No, that's not the kind of love I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of love that there is loyalty, there's allegiance, there is commitment, not just having sex. So the feeling of love is beautiful. But what will sustain this feeling is the act of love. When we go all out in our own ways to make life comfortable for our partners. And that is why you are supposed to understand that no partner of yours is supposed to come and make you happy. You are supposed to make yourself happy. Your partner would always make you and can make you happier. If you don't live from the point of making yourself happy, you will stress another human being. Your happiness is not in the hands of anybody else. It is your own responsibility. So whether it's romantic love or new relationship energy, time will tell. And that's why when a person pulls away, whether he's ghosted you, whether she's gaslighting you, you have to sit down and recalculate the relationship. And that is when you be able to differentiate between new relationship energy and romantic love. If it's romantic love, then trust me, you can fuel it anytime. And if it's genuine love, it happens between two people, not just one-sided. So anytime you are giving and giving without getting anything back in return, and when I'm talking about giving, I'm not talking about money or material things. Many of you are just wired to see giving as just, yes, there is no way you can love without giving. Note that also. So if a person is just all over you without any form of giving, pay attention to. Giving is an element of love also. But I'm talking about somebody who in his or her own accord thinks of how to make life comfortable for you. Because a feeling can deceive all of us. Just like you can wake up and you feel sad without even speaking to anybody. And the next day you wake up, given the same circumstances being equal, and you are just super excited. It's just a feeling. It can be up, it can be down, it can be empty, it can be half full. So we have to find ways of working out these feelings and feeling them ourselves, so we can make life comfortable for our partners, and we can give them the scope and the space to be themselves, to fill up their testosterone, and also if it's a woman, to equip and to balance their estrogen, so that they'll be happy on their own accord. And then when they come back together to reunite, it is a beautiful feeling. So don't confuse new relationship energy with romantic love and giving all in without paying attention to all the red flags, because they'll come back to hurt you big time. If a person loves you, if a person truly loves you, even your soul will bear witness. Don't rush in any relationship. Take your time. Go through all the processes. If it's genuine love, you don't need to do audition. And that's to you, my sisters. If a man loves you, you don't need to do any audition. Anytime you find yourself doing too much to catch the attention of a man, he never loved you in the first place. It was just a sex drive, and that sex, and because of the chemicals released to his brain, he came through motivation, desire, and because that desire was high, he pursued you, and he also fell in. Take your time, love yourself, and know that there are people out there who are praying to have you. So don't give yourself for free to a person who can't even see your worth, who will never see your value, and who will never appreciate who you are. Love is a beautiful thing, only when it happens between two beautiful souls.